Welcome to Natural 6. Well, there goes our monetization.
Complete that out. Call for edits very often.
Hi, everyone. This is episode 31 of our adventures in the world of Reliquiae.
What was that? You went to do one?
Well, I thought I'd see kind of where it went, like a a confluence of rivers, or perhaps a beautiful animation of birds going over a wheat field.
Intertwining storylines.
A little bit like the old magazine hand show.
I was trying to find a way that doesn't
Or
really work.
the eating. Now, has anyone ever? I think I've probably done it as a joke, but has anyone, in all sincerity, around the table ever done the "I'll feed you, you feed me" with a partner, with the arms on?
I've done it without that.
Yeah, the cheers sort of.
Yeah, no, but in sincerity and trying to have because I think it was sold to us. The dream culturally has been sold as a sort of intimate, playful, fun moment.
Lady and the Tramp really sold me that.
I thought Lady and the Tramp was sucking spaghetti inside spaghetti, which we've all done as a joke.
I've sucked spaghetti.
Yeah. Oh, baby.
By yourself.
Baby, we've all spoken to your agent.
Yeah.
What do you want him for? He's got 2 speeds. He's got award-winning, generational-defining voice actor, or he will suck spaghetti.
And the rates are exponentially.
Yeah. I won't tell you which one's more expensive, but I will say the answer will surprise you. Hi everyone. Let's say hi, shall we?
Got serious so quickly.
Well, yeah, because, okay, so cards on the table. Just before this episode started, Ben took one of Hollie's dye and put it in a glass of Pepsi Max Cherry and then had to drink it real fast.
Yeah, my D12.
So I'm very gassy.
I was about to say,
A gassy boy.
What time? Okay, I'm going to say now. It's 26 past the hour. How long until we think that first burp comes up?
I reckon you're burping in the next 6 minutes.
Okay.
Well, you're all wrong because I've already done 2 burps.
Whoa! I think that's actually really
That's
impressive.
selfie.
And that,
Harry doesn't like that. So
I don't like that.
can't.
Do you not?
No.
Well, I haven't. I've been keeping them to myself.
we've established how offensive I find a burp.
Yeah.
I find a burp more offensive than anything from the other end, actually.
I also don't hate that. That wasn't actually that gross.
No, it's not that great.
Well, of course not. It's a human drink. It's a drink for humans. Actually, drink for humans is more important than human drink. Human drink sounds absolutely
It's a real
horrendous.
human drink.
If you've ever, I once accidentally referred to cow's milk, but I meant normal milk because I said human milk.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
My mate.
That's different.
A slightly different one because I just did that among family. That was mildly embarrassing. My best mate did a thing where during the something called the Eat Out to Help Out scheme, where you could go out and have restaurants during COVID. He asked a female member of waiting staff whether they were still doing Eat Me Out to help me out, and was more embarrassed than a human being has ever been.
It could have gone really well for him.
It could have gone really well. Yeah.
I mean, either way, you got 50% off his bill.
I think I would say this about you, Harry, and I think our people in the comments would say this as well.
Yeah.
You are a human drink. You're an absolute human drink.
Yeah, I'm not a snack, but I am a human drink.
I want to slurp you up.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Off
That's
the table.
the nicest thing you've ever said to me. Let's say hi to our heroes.
Hello, I'm Aoife Wilson, and I will be playing Dolly de Winter, the Tiefling Bard.
Hello, I'm Alex Jordan, and I'll be
Oh no!
playing either kobold rogue.
Are you done?
I have come off the back of a stag.
Oh, okay.
My brain is still not functioning.
I'm sorry also because someone called me via WhatsApp through my my laptop just then, so...
I'm Alex Jordan, and I'm playing either kobold rogue.
Oh, brilliant.
Excellent. Hi, I'm Doug.
Wow, I like the speed of Doug.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Doug Cockle. I'm playing Kelmus, the Dragonborn Druid.
Hi, I'm Hollie, and I'm playing the human fighter Elowyn Grenweird.
Hi, I'm Ben Starr, and I play Radian Thornbear, the Wood Elf Wizard.
Hi, I'm Harry McEntire, and I'm visions of the past and the future. I'm Somnium, baby. Shall we play some Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah.
last time. You began outside the gates of Haven, hundreds of eyes watching as Dolly demanded entry and to see Vigil, leader of the Children of the Midnight Moon. After Selendine, the skull-wearing priestess, became aware of Dolly's presence, she made for Vigil to inform him of your arrival. Selendine was replaced on the gate by the leader of the Gnome, who made it clear that she knew exactly who you all were. With what felt like the entire population of Haven gathering round to ask for news of the outside world and to see the Midnight Moon making her long-promised arrival, Selendine reappeared and led a prayer before announcing a day of feasting and celebration. As the gates to Haven opened, the people flooded in, and you were borne along by the current as preparations were made for the feast. You became aware that there were not only many Gnome here, but also a militia that appeared to be part of the Children of the Midnight Moon. Within the palisade, there were many who seemed far from well, Kel recognizing the effects of somnium addiction on many of them. As you tried to get a read on both the Gnome and the Children of the Midnight Moon, it seemed that the feast was ready, and you gathered with the others as Selendine introduced Vigil to the crowd. As he emerged onto the balcony of the treehouse in the centre of the Somnium cluster, Dolly's suspicion was confirmed. Vigil is Nox, her former partner, and the man whose choices, she believes, led her to the web. On the balcony, Vigil spoke of a long wait that had ended with the Midnight Moon's arrival and promised to lead his people into the world beyond. He ended by asking to speak with Dolly, who was accompanied by I, the character not the me, after the kobold successfully reframed the information he had gathered while sneaking around Haven the previous night as a vision, impressing Selendine, who accompanied the two of you up to Vigil. As the rest of the newly dead, Parvis, also still there,
God love him,
waited at the feast, Dolly and I came face to face with the person Dolly had long hungered to take revenge on. Vigil insisted that he had nothing to do with her capture by the web, stating that he had and continued to love her deeply. He said that he had only journeyed to the Four Forests to die alone, so disgusted by his inability to save Dolly, having been beaten and left for dead beyond the walls of Baroon by the web. His newfound status he attributed to serving the needs of the desperate people of Haven, also claiming that something in a newly found strain of somnium had given him access to greater power. The Gnome were here due to that new strain, first discovered in caves not far from the town, which Vigil had led the cult to, them having some business to attend to far below the earth. In return, the Gnome had promised him Baroon, should the city fall. He wanted Dolly to be by his side as ruler. When Dolly refused his offer, he told her that she could not leave, threatening to harm I and revealing that he had been responsible for the fall of Lode. Next, he turned his anger on the rest of you, calling for your arrest as a result of betraying the Midnight Moon. You submitted to capture, and as the population turned against you, you found yourselves bound and escorted by the Gnome to subterranean cells. With Dolly still a guest of Vigil, the rest of you tried to figure out a plan of escape. Radian used his misty step-like ability to escape the cell, but could not get any further with bound hands. Fortunately, Elowen had hidden her Grenweir dagger about her person, and with that she was able to cut the temporary bindings with which the Gnome had secured your wrists. This done, and a plan beginning to take shape, Radian panicked at the prospect of being trapped and Misty stepped above ground, encountering two Gnome guards who swiftly rendered him unconscious, only being saved by Kelmus and Hank, who teleported up before returning to the cells with an unconscious Radian, who they revived. Acting quickly, you used Elowen's dagger to pick the locks on your cells, but could not free Parvis, who told you to escape without him. You barely did, fleeing guards, recovering weapons and barely barricading doors with spears, hiding in the shadows, before you climbed a parapet and escaped into the forest, leaving Dolly and Parvis behind. And that's where we are now. So, for the first time, at the very beginning of an episode, we have a split party. So what we are going to do, this was not my idea, but it's an excellent idea. We are going to flip a natural 6 coin and see who we start with. Let's say the web is Dolly, and let's say the natural 6 logo is the rest of you. We begin with Dolly de Winter.
I can refill that drink.
No.
Get out of here!
I just realised it's not the first time though we started.
No, you.
Because when I was off doing his thing, we started with a split group.
Oh, for the second time. So, from your perspective, Dolly, you're up on the balcony with Nox.
Mm-hmm.
He's raised your hand and addressed the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And you've watched your companions be led away, bound, towards somewhere, you don't know where. And the feast returns. You are almost... It's almost as if, with that threat gone, the focus immediately returns to the matter in hand, which is the celebration of you and the celebration of Vigil. And you look out at this thronging group of people, some drinking, some eating. These children that you saw before have started to sort of join and are winding their way, kids playing. In any other context, this would be a beautiful summer's day. This would be a celebration, a community joyfully coming together. But of course, you recognise the truth of what all this is. And Nox releases your hand. And he says, they will want to meet you.
What do you think's gonna happen when all these people realize we're not gods? We're two con artists from the streets. You're persuasive, but you're not that persuasive.
I'm powerful now in ways I was not. I'm sorry for my anger.
It's the least of our problems right now.
I just want... Look at them. I want to keep them safe. And I can. But I need you with me.
What does the Spider Prince think of this second run at running Barin for you?
Roll me an insight check.
It's a dirty 20, I believe.
Uh,
Yeah. It's 22.
You... Whether or not you can always determine the truth of his words, you knew him for a long time, you have known him for a long time. And it's almost as if a shared language existed for you and between you. And despite those years of separation and distance and hatred and feelings of vengeance on your part, not to suggest there's any feelings of sympathy returning, but what you do realise is that you are able to click back into that familiarity. And at the mention of the Spider Prince, you see a flash of fear which he marshals.
Okay.
And you remember a conversation you had when you first met, when you were first dealing with Nox, when you were probably on the end of what became a more personal part, at the very beginning of what became a more personal partnership, but for now it was still a more business relationship. You were working alongside one another. And you had a mild run-in with the web. You had strayed into streets that were not yours. And you remember Nox was terrified. It was the first time you'd seen a vulnerability and a frailty to him. And back then, the fact that he had confided that in you and acknowledged how frightened he was had actually been had made you feel very special. And And then as time went on and he became bolder and bolder, he would deny the existence of that fear, that he'd never been frightened, that your memory was wrong. And you see that same flash of fear. And he attempts to master it, and he says, "It has been a long time. I've been hiding from the web, and now with the Gnome, I need not fear them."
Crossing that bridge when you come to it, then.
The Spider Prince is part of an old order. It is being swept away.
We'll see if he sees it that way.
You don't want him to win, Dolly.
No, I know I don't.
So pick a side.
I'm still trying to figure out what this side stands for.
Go and talk to them then. Find out what they want. Find out what they believe in. I'll come with you.
Fine.
And you descend. You have two guards who immediately fall into lockstep behind you. Two of these guards in orange and purple that you recognize as followers of the Midnight Moon or followers of Nox, Vigil. So you're not left alone, but you do start to descend these spiral staircases. And as you go into these, as you kind of descend down from this balcony and down to the forest floor, the somnium rises up to overtake you and you find yourself in shade and you're in the trunk of the tree and then you're moving through chambers and platforms and tree houses that have been constructed and then you're back down at the base. And you move out into the throng of Haven again. And as you move into the sunlight, emerging from the shadow of this cluster of somnium, there's a cheer. And people applauding, some applaud and some just hold their hands out to you. You see these moons that have been tattooed. People are reaching out and trying to touch you. It's as if that feeling of potential celebration that felt like a bottle shaken with the lid on, back at the gates, there's been something in the release of the capture of the rest of your friends that has allowed these people to let go. And they are trying to get at both of you and touching you. Roll me an insight on Nox.
Oops.
What, did you miss the track?
I did, but it was fine. It's a 22.
It's a 22. He is very comfortable. He's extremely comfortable with the idea of being revered and worshipped. He seems more in his comfort zone now. He walks with a sort of regality. His movements has become slower, slightly more exaggerated. At his best, he was always quite an elegant person. And now he moves with a serene, almost balletic grace. And there are smiles that he offers to people and touches people on their faces, and people react to his touch as if struck by joy and revelation. And people are pulling at you, trying to do the same to you. The Midnight Moon, reaching hands out towards you.
You enjoy this, don't you?
It is what they need. They are your children too.
I didn't sign up for any of this.
You are safe. We are safe now, he raises his voice. We are safe now that the Midnight Moon is here among us. Later we will take of the mushroom. We will show her our devotion to ourselves, to truth, to her, and to the earth from which the mushroom derives its power.
You know exactly how I feel about that.
This is different. Do you want to stay with Nox? Do you want to try and move away, speak to people?
I'm Dolly's very aware that this situation is not in her favor right now, and I think she's going to have to change tact to keep the others safe as well. So she's going to play along, but not get too far away.
Okay.
But I think, yeah, maybe try and speak to some people.
Okay. What kind of people would you... There seem to be, in the broadest possible terms, let's say 4 groups. You're milling around and you're just allowing this to happen around you for a little bit as you get your bearings. There are those who you spoke to before who are slumped against walls. There are those who make up probably 90% of the people here who are the general, almost call them like the general congregation. They seem to be in possession of their faculties. They're excited to see you. Then there are these guards. And then after a few minutes of being out here, you see Selendine re-emerge with a couple of others who look to be junior members of the religious order here, whereas she has this extraordinary, perhaps goat or deer skull on her face and these horns. And she's also wearing colours that are essentially your clothes. There are others that wear sort of a small pair of horns, no face coverings. You see one of them is a dwarf, a male dwarf with russet-coloured hair, and the other is a very smooth-skinned, young-looking elf, no more than early 20s. So they're your groups. You've got the religious group, the guards, the down-and-outs, or the general congregation. Where are you sort of focusing your attention?
I think I want to know more about the general congregation.
These tables have been laid out in a U shape. There was this central table at which you were all sat, and after a while Nox sits, and the guards sort of fan out around him to give him a little bit of space, but it's they're taking up space, which stops people getting to him rather than actively keeping people away. So he is at that space, and you realise that as he sits, a guard sort of hovers on your shoulder. They are sat in these... there are sort of tables that you could go and sit at, or you could engage someone who's not at one of these tables.
I'm gonna go... Yeah, I think I'm gonna go maybe sit down by one of the tables and try and talk to people there.
And as you do, there is this... You go to sit, and you see this whole table sort of half stands. They don't know whether to genuflect or to welcome you, or to this is a situation that they are strangely unprepared for.
Hi, hello, hi.
And it's a gnome sort of takes the lead and stands up and pushes the stool back.
Please, it's fine.
No, you must.
No, it's fine.
I can't sit.
Okay.
I can't stand when the midnight moon or
How are you all doing?
It means everything that you're here.
Just happy to see everybody. Happy to say hi.
How did you find us?
Well, just a feeling, I guess.
You felt the call.
I suppose so. You could say that. Yeah.
And he looks to the others who sort of excitedly nod. I knew that. Yeah, he said, and you can hear them sort of cross-talking.
What did they say? What did he say? Humor me.
That there exists a bond between your two hearts, as if tethered, that a pull on that cord at the right moment, with enough truth and love behind it, would bring you back to him.
Well, it took long enough, but yeah, here I am.
And now he can ascend.
And what do you know about that whole process?
I'm going to have them roll a religion check. They rolled quite badly. That within the mushroom, from which all truth and power comes, there is a power greater, one that only Vigil can access. You are the last part of that. That's what he said. That's why we waited.
And what happens after?
We will go home.
Home?
To the where we were as before we were here.
Really quick?
Yes. There is nothing else. I have not seen the workshops of Ponvin for a long time.
So what led you here?
We are all running from something, aren't we, at first? Roll me an insight check.
15.
He looks ashamed. Many of us here, we have made mistakes. You do not find yourself in the forests without having made mistakes. But Vigil told us this was somewhere where we could atone. And where we could forget about our guilt and our fear and be safe until we were strong enough to return with truth, with love, with a goodness that the world deserves that we weren't always ready to give before.
There's no shame, you know that, right? We all run from our mistakes, but it's what we do afterwards that counts. In my life, we've all been leaders and we've all been followers, right? I've been led by fear and I've been led by love, and fear can sometimes keep you right because it makes you really think about the consequences and everything that comes after. And love, well, sometimes people do questionable things out of it, right? But it's all down to the individual.
Yes. And we have a chance now. I miss winters. I miss the snow. I miss the rain.
You can't leave this forest?
I can, but where would I go?
Anywhere your feet take you.
There is no mushroom beyond the forest.
No, but there is every other experience of life.
There is no vigil beyond the forest.
No, but there are many others.
Not like him. Not with... Did you hear?
Hear what?
The virtuous.
Yes, I heard. I saw.
Of course you did. You're the midnight moon. You see with clarity and brightness what is dark to everyone else.
I'm just a farmer's daughter.
And Vigil is just a man.
Yes, he is.
But we are greater things with greater power. We can become who we were meant to be here. I'm someone here.
You're somewhere everywhere.
No.
That power is always within you.
Well, then Vigil helped me find it. The mushroom opened me and awakened me to it. And you. Because the mushroom is of you. The mushroom is of Vigil and the mushroom is of you. Without the two of you, the power is not there. We wanted to go and look for you. When he told stories of you. Told us of what it would mean when you were to return. But he said that patience was a lesson. And that love does not diminish over time if love is true. And he was right, because now you're here and look. And he gestures, and you just see this scene of celebration, or what he sees as a scene of celebration.
Everything in its own time.
Roll me a perception check.
It's a 4.
It's a 4. It's just a mass of people. And the gnome says, "Are you frightened?"
Do you want to know a secret?
Yes,
Always.
because they betrayed you. You're safe now. Vigil will not let anything happen to you. We will not let anything happen to you, will we? And there's this collective endorsement of that statement from the rest of the table.
You have kind hearts.
We learned them.
Thank you.
And then there is a noise behind you. And you look and you see that the gates open just enough to allow a person in.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see from the hair of this person that it is the leader of the Gnome back at the outpost. Roll me perception.
That's a 7.
A 7. You see them move with a group of other Gnome through into this crowd, into this throng of people, and they're moving quickly. And there is not an aggression, but there is certainly a sense of purpose to their movement. They don't want to be waylaid, and then you lose them in the crowd.
Mm-hmm. What was that about?
I don't know. They have come here, and we have arrangements with them. I have not. It is not in. My role is not to help them.
What do you know of their intentions?
They are using the mushroom.
Why so?
Well, they come here, and with their help, we harvest great quantities of it, far more than ever before, and then it's taken away for purposes that I don't need to understand.
And you're all okay with that?
Vigil. Life and truth and love are in the mushroom. If Vigil wishes to share it, spread it beyond this forest, I believe there will be a good reason why. We certainly have enough.
Mm-hmm.
As you see in gestures, there is no more than a few hundred people here. We have no need for the extraordinary quantities of it. It gives to us, so it is beholden on us to give again. We are not dragons, we do not hoard wealth. Are you hungry?
You know what? No, you'd think. It's been a long journey to get here, but now I think I'll just keep milling around.
Well, it was my, and he puts his hand up to you and shows you the tattoo. And when you look back at his face, you see he is crying. And he says, "You don't know how long we've waited. Everything's going to be all right now, you know that."
It will one day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Midnight moon. You're going to stand up from that table and...
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anything else you want to do?
No, not for now. I might just head back over to where Nox is.
Mhm. As you move over to Nox, this guard's still on your shoulder. You see that he sort of looks up as you approach, and he gives you that same smile that he gave you at the top of the balcony before you'd first moved up towards him, and it's a smile that you know is his smile of genuine satisfaction, whether or not contentment. But it's a smile that is not performative in your history with him. And he gestures for you to sit down next to him.
I will.
And what did you think of these people who follow you?
I think you're very good at what you do. But you always have been.
From anyone else, that would be a compliment, but from you, why are you so afraid of me being right?
Because I loved you once and it ruined my life. And that was just me. You're gonna really hurt these people.
Dolly, when we have Barin, Dolly, we can't be touched. Who can scale the walls of Barin? No one. Who can hide in its alleyways? Not even us. I can keep these people safe, and I can give us what we have always wanted. Somewhere to call home.
It's always tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. Remember, you used to bring me a dahlia from the market every day. Every day. Till once you forgot. And that was fine. You were taking meetings. Things I wasn't really interested in, didn't need to be a part of. Those were conversations that you had to have. Then you forgot again. A few more times after that. And it was always because something's happening. This is all gonna work out in the end. This is all gonna be worth it. I deserve better than the scraps of your time. That was all I wanted. Not a city.
I can give you both. More than scraps. Dolly, we were very young. But I've clung to you. Not just to the memory of you, but the knowledge of what we could be and what we were. When it's just us, when you can forget and tune out all the noise. It's just us.
What was my favorite poem? What books did I like to read as a kid? What was my mother's name? I am more than the me that exists in your mind, and I've noticed what all these stories, all these wonderful stories that you're telling these people about me, I've noticed. It's a very particular version of me that shows up there. Very one-dimensional version of me.
You're a goddess to these people, Dolly. They have no need for light and shade.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot help but hurt the people that you love, can you? And the people who reach out to you, they get hurt. And I forgive you for it. But many others don't, and many others won't. That's your sadness, you know that. It's not mine. And as that happens, his eyes are fixed on yours, and I'll say an hour has passed by now.
Mm-hmm.
And someone approaches him from the other side. And you see it's the leader of the Gnome. And she whispers something in his ear. Roll me an insight with advantage. You've rattled him as well. So I think his defenses are down.
19.
19. There is a moment of proper panic.
What?
I need to speak with... And he just stands up abruptly from the table and walks off with the leader of the Gnome.
I assume there's still a lot of guards and
Yes.
stuff around.
Yes.
Okay. And I will not follow him.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll, Selendine's still around, right? I'll kind of mill over to where she is.
You see as you walk over to her, she has you have this guard still tracking you. Roll me an insight on the guard.
14.
14. The guard has the feeling of not a guard to whether or not this is the intention behind their assignment. They're just sort of following you in a slightly puppyish way. They're just sort of, every time you look back, they give you a sort of nervous smile. They are a tiefling, like you. Similarly pink-skinned, but a male tiefling. And as you glance at, you can feel like that there's something is bubbling up in them that they want to say, but they haven't quite got the bravery.
Thank you so much, by the way, for keeping us all safe. I'm Dolly.
As Azro.
Hi.
You know, there aren't many who look like us in Arasus.
No, it's very rare.
I always said if my mother had had the power, she could have made me almost like you. I mean, I am almost like you with the gestures to the skin, and his horns are much more like kind of ram's horns. They're kind of curly, but you can see he's put little bits of gold on one of them.
I love what you've done.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Thank
great.
you.
Keep meaning to get more for mine, but well, who has the time?
Wow, you're perfect as you are. Sorry, I didn't.
Please.
I didn't mean in a. I didn't.
Don't be silly.
It's quite. It's quite an overwhelming thing, and you see he realizes he's starting to, and sorry.
For me too.
I didn't. Sorry. I just I'll keep you safe. Don't worry, and don't worry about your those traitors. We are not going to let anything
It's fine.
happen to
I'm
you.
sure. I'm sure we'll not see or hear from them.
No. Anyway, I'll keep guarding you.
It's fine. It's a feast. Relax.
Yeah, are you sure you
I'm fine.
roll
Look.
persuasion with advantage?
Not great, but well, an 18.
I
I got an 8 and a 1.
Well, I'll be there at the table. I'll wait at your table, and if I just wait for me if you need me.
Of course.
Azro.
Azro, yeah.
I didn't.
Of course. we'll
Yeah.
drink and celebrate later.
Yeah. No, great. Great. That sounds great. If you want, I mean, I've got. Yeah. My wife would love to meet you as well.
Oh,
So
I
she's.
would love to.
Yeah, she's really. We'll see. Oh, it's mad. Okay. Buying it out soon. And he sort of So doesn't really know how to dismiss himself, or
He's like,
and well, yeah, top of them. Yes, off we go, and goes and stands by the table and sort of doesn't know whether he should lean on it or sit down or stand, and so just sort of watches you from a distance. Raises some eyebrows as you head over towards Selendine, who stood with these two more junior priests, a dwarf and an elf.
how are you?
Well, joyful that you have returned.
The conversation up there. You heard it? Didn't you?
She looks at the junior priests. Perhaps we could speak alone.
Yeah.
I will take you to your chambers. Well, yes, your chambers.
Okay.
And she leads you back towards the cluster of mushrooms, up the tree, and into a very sort of well-appointed area, a sort of well-appointed treehouse room. It is the sort of first large building you get to. It's set over 2 stories, although you only go into this first level. And it has a bed with some, with kind of cushions and a very comfortable looking bed. And a wooden headboard. It's the comfiest bed you've seen in a little while, and there's a desk, and she says, you'll be, if you're comfortable, you'll be here. And then she doesn't seem to know quite what to say.
What have you been promised?
We have all been promised truth.
And did that sound like the truth? He spoke. He has spoken to me of you. You are like him. You are mortal. You are flawed. We are all imperfect. But power of the mushroom and the power of the earth. You are something more. Which part of the conversation are you referring to? The part where our relationship right now doesn't quite align with all these wonderful stories he's been telling your congregation about how we were parted.
You trust the web over him?
No, I don't trust the web over him.
So, the stories he tells you, his version of what led him here, what leads you here now, it is at odds with yours. From where does yours derive?
From what I saw happen. From what I truly, in my heart of hearts, know the quality of his character to be.
He's changed. People can change.
They can. I'm not sure they always do.
He's trying to be good. We are all trying to be good. Goodness is... There are bumps on the road. There are decisions we would take differently were we able to. But the reality is that as long as we breathe, we fail. But we try. Don't punish him for who he was.
No. I wouldn't punish him for who he was, but you can't blame me for being cautious.
No. No, I understand that. He has his, My role is to advise.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that advice is followed, sometimes it is not. My duty is to protect the people and prepare them for your coming. Now you're here.
And what happens next?
He ascends.
When?
That I do not know.
Why is that? Everything here seems to have been foretold.
There have been decisions made in recent months that have put plans in a different light. I believe he will ascend. I do. There is other business that needs to be attended to. I do not know if we wait upon that business.
You seem very intelligent.
I listen.
You do. You think. You advise. I'm surprised you're here. You seem more like a leader than a follower, but
I believe in him. Belief is hard. And belief wavers, and belief is subject to doubt. But I believe in him. He took care of me. He gave me something to hold. He gave me someone to be here.
can I give you some advice?
Of course.
He did the same for me once. Made me believe in something bigger. You know, grand plans and an exciting future. And then he broke my heart. But my heart broke, but it didn't harden. I took the shattered pieces and built a walled garden. And rather than let anyone else tell me what to do, I tended to it. And it was quiet, and it was calm, like a midnight moon with the promise of the dew of a better tomorrow. I did that. Not him. Not anyone else. And maybe that better tomorrow will come. But either way, there's peace now where there wasn't before.
She reaches up and she takes the skull off her face. And you see that she really looks like you. You don't have siblings that you're aware of, so it's not a moment of going, are we blood related? And she places the skull next to her, and she says, I am sorry that your heart was broken. He never loved me enough to break mine. And the door swings open. And there is a member of this guard. In fact, let's say it's Azro. Mm-hmm. It's Azro. He needs to see you. And you both sort of look at each other. He realizes that he's seeing Selendine without her. I'm sorry. And she quickly replaces the skull on her head. Which one of us? You. Me. Yeah, yes. She sort of turns her head back to you. You almost see a raised eyebrow beneath the mask. And she leaves. Mm-hmm. You can hear a muttered conversation behind. Very quick muttered conversation. Mm-hmm. Do you want to try and listen in?
Sure.
Roll me perception.
17.
Okay. You catch the end of something. Mm-hmm. You hear. No, not all. Not all, but some. Mm. And then you hear her footsteps quickly running off. And there's a little sort of window. You see Azro look in and just...
Everything okay?
Gives you a big double thumbs up. Great. We'll take a little pause there. I'm going to say you're now 2 hours into this. And we'll bring the others in for a little bit so you can catch your breath.
Fine.
So, our gallant band of 4.
Jesus.
The almost dead.
Probably should be dead, quite frankly.
It should be dead.
Or at least one of us.
I is full hit points.
I am too, and it's not the point.
You have jumped the walls of Haven. Your footfall lands in the moss and the grass and the forest floor. And as you jump and as you land, there's a moment of stillness, of quiet, as even with Pass Without Trace working on it, which is still working, I've only had it cast for, I will say, a couple of minutes, you have this moment of just waiting. The rampart, the parapet from which you leapt was unmanned, but the one next to it you remember was manned. And you wait. You hear the sounds of the festival, the feast, which by now is restarted. And at one point you hear this great cheer. You don't know why, but no one seems to be alerted to your absence or be alerting anyone to your absence. No one spots you out here.
I need to get out of here now.
Yeah, we can't hang around.
The guards will be telling someone that they already have.
Yeah, we made enough noise on the way out, but if we stay here, they'll come looking for us and we will be found. And I'd rather not have another fight right now.
Agreed.
So, from where you first started, you headed, when we first arrived in the Four Forests, you headed north. And you got to the Somnium cluster, the sort of outpost where they were cutting it down.
Yeah.
Then you, broadly speaking, headed west. Mm-hmm. So you can head east back towards the cluster and you can try and find your original camp, or you can head in any other direction. Right now, I will say you are probably on the north. You're on the southwestern side, the southern side of Haven is where you've leapt from.
I'd say we want to go anywhere else than where we were.
Is there not some things in them never thinking we would go back there?
I'd rather not test that theory. I mean, if anything happens to Dolly, she won't know where to find us.
So what? Go somewhere else?
I'd say we stay far away from the mushrooms that we burned. That's probably the best place to not head to.
Okay.
No need to go back there.
Then let's head. Let's head further north. Head north.
It all has to get around.
Yeah, you can skirt around Haven
Perimeter.
and head north.
Yeah. Let's see what there is.
Fine, north. Let's just get out of here.
Okay. Everyone just roll me stealth checks using that +10 as you get away from and we'll treat this like a group check.
31.
31.
16.
16.
18.
18.
16.
16. Yeah, everybody passes. That's 4 successes. And you, with the noise of the feast and the noises of this forest, are able to skirt round Haven, giving it a wide berth. It probably takes you, I'll say it takes you sort of half an hour to leave behind the sights and sounds of Haven, and you move into the forest.
Well, that went well. We came as a group of 6. 4 of us have made it out.
What do we do?
I say we lay low for a little while. And then we make a plan to go find Dolly.
An actual plan.
I
A
think
plan that covers more than just what you do when you get there.
I think you need to rest.
We do.
I think we all need a rest.
We'd be better if we're going back. We'd be better to do it at night.
I has a thoughts. They has some things, some ones that we values. But there is something in there that they values as well. We saws what happens when we burns the mushrooms over theirs. And yet there has the biggest pile inside. If we can't get close enough, if we can't find a way to make it burn, if we can hold their mushrooms as ransom, maybe we can get a Dolly out.
But are we burning them or holding them captive?
Well, you has ways with fire. I can get close. If there is some way we can threatens the mushrooms. They has already lost many out there. They will not want to lose this. It is what they need for an ox to become a god or...
But they can regrow mushrooms.
But it will take a long time. And they, you have seen the people. They... I does not think they will be happy to see it go.
Let's set up camp and think. Dolly is there alone. And she is strong, but she can't take on all of them.
She won't need to.
Let's regroup and think.
So you continue to head north, further and further from Haven and deeper into the Sister Forest. Any of you, roll me a d4.
Okay. 1.
As you're sort of walking through the forest, and this part of the forest is sort of without paths, without roads. Much of the forest is like this, really. That one main road that you found yourself on, which again it's less a paved road. It's not as if it's been maintained. It's like a desire line that over time maybe enough carts or enough feet have stamped the forest down that there's this track that's emerged. There are no tracks here. Everyone roll me perception checks.
19.
19.
Filthy 20.
Filthy 20.
18.
18.
6.
6. You
See Dolly.
see Dolly. In fact, you know what? I genuinely don't mind that, given what you rolled on the D4. You think for a second you see Dolly, but someone has done something to her. She's tiny. She's tiny and she's been shrunk. And what magic is this? What the three of you see is a little hand-stitched doll that looks like Dolly. White hair and pink skin. And she has these these pupilless, milky eyes, and she's been placed in a cluster of dahlia flowers. his breath catches his chest, drops to his knee. No!
I knew we should not have left you.
How did they move her so fast?
Does you see this?
Yeah, like the dahlias, the placing of it. It's just been taunting her the entire time we've been in this forest.
There's done more than taunt her.
Roll an insight. Roll an insight.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's a 23.
Yeah. I'll let you choose whether or not I tries to style this out or whether he.
I goes.
It has done more than. They has done more craft and works in this tiny things that I has seen in a very long time.
I mean, yeah, it's a well-made doll.
It is a really well-made doll.
It looks very, very nice.
I didn't know that you appreciated dolls.
Sometimes we needs to take a step back and just think about what really makes life has meaning, and the arts of the walls, of the caves, and moments like this.
I mean, I think I've got a bunch of old dolls in the attic next time we're in Mouse. If you want them, I suppose we can get them down.
We can move on.
Right, did you think we'd actually found Dolly?
Hey, Dolly. We
You thought it was Dolly, didn't you? You thought someone had shrunk Dolly down.
Sorry, pardons.
It's okay,
We really need to rest, don't we?
You're very tired.
It's been a big day. It's been a really big day. It's been overwhelming, actually, in many ways. But this is a lot for someone who prides themselves on seeing the way you do. It's not where I would have gone with it, but okay.
I was just going to
I go over and I just pick it up and just pop it in my bag and say,
I really did just masterful work.
What are you going to do with it? You've just picked it up and you just put it in your bag.
Honestly, that bag of holding is the worst thing that ever happened to him. The stuff he is collecting.
What's in there?
Eyes chains.
What does Dolly smell like? What did we say? Dolly smells
Like mulled wine, clovers and cinnamon and
cloves and cinnamon. This thing smells like pomegranates. Like it's been perfumed, and it doesn't smell like Dolly. It smells wrong.
you're the one that likes smelling things.
It's not necessarily game-changing information.
no.
Right, but to someone like Alex, that might be the next 20 minutes.
I just smell it and give it a little
Strange.
just puts it in the bag.
Do you want to find somewhere to camp and rest?
Yes.
How close to this shrine, which you can assume it is, this similar to the one that you saw before? How close to this do you want to go?
I'd want to get quite far away from them because I think they are unbelievably creepy.
Okay. I'm going to say it's taken you an hour to get here and have this conversation.
Yeah.
You can spend another hour looking for somewhere, looking for the perfect place, in which case I'll let you roll survival with advantage.
Oh, so that trace is an hour?
It's an hour. Yeah.
So
Yes.
So
we've now got
it's
we've now
probably
lost
run out.
that.
You've now lost that, yeah.
Yeah.
So essentially, if you want to just do a regular survival and not spend more time looking, you can be in the reasonable vicinity of this within a few minutes of this shrine, or you can take another hour and you can look further afield and try and find the perfect place.
We can just go further, but
I think we need to be prepared to go back.
the further we goes, the longer it will take to get back.
That's true.
I know, but the further we go, the harder we are to find.
Maybe this is the right middle ground between the two problems.
Fine. We just need to stay out of trouble for just a little while we figure out what we're doing next.
I don't mind who. Someone needs to roll a survival check.
Shall I do it in the tower?
No, because he has better survival.
This is not a time for shenanigans.
Mine is +5.
Yes, if you could roll.
Do you want to roll
Wait,
it?
wait, hold on. Mine is +3, but I also have reliable.
Oh, so you
so
can't
I
roll
can't-
lower than a
anything lower than a
21.
10 becomes an 11 anyway.
Would you like to please roll for survival?
In the
In the
tower.
tower,
it becomes a 10.
almost
It becomes
doesn't
a
matter.
10,
No.
sorry.
In the tower, it almost doesn't matter.
Almost until that
He's
thing
not going to
rolls
roll a
one.
nat 1. He's not going to roll a nat 1.
Not at all. It's an 8, so it's a 10 plus
That's
it's a
21.
13.
That's fantastic.
Not a 21. Because
it becomes
because
a
I have a
13.
plus. Yeah, but
You know
it
what, I
means,
might
yeah.
start putting Bacardi in these.
Yeah.
So
I can
I'm
cope.
going to say we're sort of loose. We're into that second hour, but we haven't finished it. And you find a
Feels right to
reasonable,
put that
yeah, nice actually, a reasonable spot to rest. It's one of these great trees. 2 or 3 of them have sort of grown together, and it's created a sort of almost encircled space in which the 4 of you can comfortably lie down or sit or make a camp.
Well, thank God we're in the summer forest and we don't need a fire.
This is a very good point. This seems as best as we is going to get.
I hate that we've left it behind.
Should be fine.
Yous is all forgetting about a Parvis.
I'm not forgetting about a Parvis, but, you know, I think Parvis knew what it'd feel like to be left behind. I think being left behind for Dolly is different. And we didn't get a chance to tell her. Parvis knew we were leaving. He encouraged us to leave him. Dolly... Well, we're just not there anymore, are we?
I think she will understand.
I think logically Dolly will understand. I just think there's a part of Dolly that is, I think, a little bit more broken than we all realized. And she might feel abandoned.
I need you to understand that if we gets there and I sees a way to try and get a Parvis, I will try and get a Parvis.
We'll try too.
I will remind you that there is no way that Dolly would know that you had gone.
Unless someone...
There is no way that you are aware of.
Yeah,
If
we don't know.
If you've got out
Yeah.
silently,
Yeah.
there's no reason that an alarm would have been. It could be raised, but it hasn't
It's
necessarily.
pretty reasonable as well to expect that in order to keep her compliant, they would probably not tell her because we are, you know.
Or they would tell her to convince... Or they would tell her
Too bad I didn't realize I should have said that.
to convince her that she had been abandoned. But I do not think Dolly would think that we had truly abandoned her.
No.
I hope not.
We were no use to her in the prison. We were more use to her out here, where we have time to think. We will go back. Just not now.
We rests.
We rest and then we figure out what we do from here.
You relayed. Did you relay basically the conversation that you'd had whilst you were up there?
The Nox conversation.
The Nox
the visual
conversation.
conversation. Yeah.
So we can essentially...
Hence it being in the recap.
I was
because
gonna
my
say-
assumption was always that I would not keep that
No, he wouldn't
information
keep
to
that.
himself.
He
He
wouldn't
understands the power
Yeah.
of it.
You said that Nox said when he took the somnium, something changed in him.
I does not know if he means a real change or if it gives an understanding of something or if just the somnium, the power is control. But Nox intends to use it to becomes a god.
Well, it sounds of it, he already thinks he is.
Or does he encourage his followers to use it to think that he's a god?
What is it with idiots wanting to become gods around here?
I don't know. But I don't think any harm's going to come to her.
I saw two sides of Nox. I does not think he would harm a dolly because he likes a dolly. But there was another side where I thinks he would harm anyone that is a risk to a Nox. There is another part that lies underneath, and it's not got any love. It's empty words. And I thinks that a Nox can tell themselves and makes them think that they has love. But it is really the biggest lie that they tells to themselves.
I think it's a lie that Dolly's been in once before.
I think she's safe there. I think what I'm getting at is we can't rush back in. We've been rushing everywhere. I know. I've been rushing everywhere. But what happened back then in the cells, I'm sorry. I couldn't control it. I don't know what happened. I just had to get out. It happens to me sometimes.
Look, we were going to have to get out of there anyway, and you just sped up the process.
And thank you for coming to get me, and thank you for having my back. I appreciate it. But we also have to have Dolly's back, but we just can't go storming back in there without a plan.
Of course, no. Of course. The somnium. Perhaps instead of threatening to burn it or burning it, perhaps we could use it. Perhaps we could put it into the water supply. Use that as a distraction to help us.
Half the people are on somnium anyway. You saw them. They've been taking that thing for months, maybe years.
But what about the Gnome? They will be weak to it. They does not take it. There is something in this.
Or maybe we stop trying to make things happen and we just wait. Wait for things to happen to us. Think about it. The things that have happened to us, we're not agents of change. We are people who are changed by fate. Every time we force something, it goes wrong. Every time. But sometimes the right thing just appears right in front of us. So let's sit and wait. That might sound strange coming out of my mouth.
Do you mean then that we do not go back at some point?
I mean that we wait. And we sit and we trust that Dolly has this. We go back when we have the right idea, but right now we have nothing. We have somnium in the water. We have burning mushrooms. We've done that before, and look where that got us. It got us into prison. It got us panicked. It got us chased out of this place. We walked straight up to the front door, and immediately, nothing went right. Let's just see what happens. I, for one, could use a rest.
Yes, we could use a rest. But I do not think that sitting and waiting here for days on end is going to help anyone. We have to go back at some point.
I think they will value a Dolly, but they will value a Parvis much less.
They are not going to kill a member of the Antiqua. They won't.
And Nox wants to become a new god. What's better way to do this than by getting rid of the old ones entirely?
Parvis is not a god.
But he is the most connected thing to one.
Then we won't let anything happen to him.
And that could be valuable to Nox.
We rest.
We rest.
Yeah. Let's hope inspiration strikes.
Okay. So how do you want to do guarding, sitting on watch?
I'll take first watch.
I'm happy to tag in.
So I'll divide these into essentially 2-hour blocks. We'll do 1 hour, one block, which will take us sort of 4 hours forward from where we started. And then I will probably step you guys out and do another couple of in-game hours with Dolly.
Sure.
So let's see what happens in these first few hours. You're resting.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'll be resting.
Someone's resting. I is resting. And Cal, you go and watch. It's a strange thing to go on watch in the middle of the day. It feels different. It's almost easy to get distracted, but you're not tired. So it kind of has advantages and disadvantages. So roll me a check with disadvantage and advantage. No, so just roll me a perception check, please.
21.
21. The forest and the noise of the forest. You just about, from where you are, have a view of the path that you took. Not literally the path, but to your route through from Haven. And in those first 2 hours, you discern nothing. Who would like to take the second watch?
Yeah.
We'll do one more. Roll me a perception check, Ellen.
That is only an 8.
8. The forest gets noisier. From where you are, you can't see anything, you can't tell why.
There's nothing I can really do with that. Like, I'm just gonna keep watching and waiting.
Okay. Can everyone who's not Ben step outside, please?
Oh, good. Gosh. I think if we're going to do this, then we'll probably need this at some point. Probably going to need this.
Okay. So, Radian,
Yes.
you go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like you to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
7.
Okay. So, you find yourself dreaming that same dream you dreamt before.
Mm-hmm.
Your eyes are closed and you can feel grass beneath you. And there's insects and birdsong and light behind your closed eyelids. And then you smell scarlet poppies. And you smell lotus flowers. And your head is touching another head. There is a head resting next to yours. You can feel curls of hair on your cheek. And there's a hand on your chest, which rises and falls as you breathe. And your fingers are interlocked with theirs. And your eyes open, and you look down at your hand, interlocked in theirs, and it's free of scars. And you turn your head to see who or what this is, and all you see is golden hair. And then mist. Swirling mist and darkness. And Erastus Gracie. He says, Dolly de Winter. Where is she?
She is not here.
I will have my satisfaction.
I can help you get there.
His face is always impassive. He rarely shows any kind of emotion. His gaunt features, daggers in each hand, his long great coat. But you see the beginnings of a smile play at curving the corners of his mouth.
I do not know your power. I do not know what you can do. But I and my friends can help you get to her. But first you have to help us.
Roll me persuasion.
With the new natural six dice in here.
Which is going to work in the big thing, I can tell.
Yes, it is.
17.
He says, I can bring your friends here with me. I will forfeit all my other power and hold them here in stasis with me. Call on me, and we will all emerge.
And then you will get what you are owed.
I will. And he reaches out a hand.
Wiping my sweaty hands. I also reach out my non-sweaty hand.
Mm-hmm. And he takes your hand in his. He shakes it. His hand is inhuman in its coldness. And you see a smile again play at the corner of his lips. And you wake up. Get out of here.
What have I done?
Okay. So we're back in the treehouse.
Mm-hmm.
In Haven, in a way, we've never been gone. And Selendine has just left.
Mm-hmm.
You've just heard that the end of that whispered conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Azrael's just waved. And you're alone in this treehouse, in this room, with only Azrael kind of guarding you beyond the door.
He's outside of the door.
He's outside of the door, yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to take a minute. And then I'm going to take a sending stone out of my jacket pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the one that's connected to the prince or the spinner.
The spinner, yeah.
And I'm gonna, before I tune, I'm just gonna say, the enemy of my enemy. And then I'm gonna fire it up.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, the moon only reflects light, but it pierces the darkness like nothing else can. Are you sure you can trust the darkness you align yourself with?
Say that to me again.
The moon only reflects light,
Mm-hmm.
but it pierces the darkness like nothing else can. Are you sure you can trust the darkness you align yourself with? No?
You get a reply.
Mm.
You hear the spinner's voice in your head. You have found him, then. A wretched addled shell. One word and you can be free. You need only ask and come home.
I'm not going to reply.
Yeah, I don't know if you can.
No,
actually.
I don't think I can. But it's going to look very distasteful.
All these distasteful men or male
Blech.
figures.
Yeah. That's it, really. I'm just going to take an opportunity to rest if I can.
How long would you like to try and rest for? Are you aiming for a short rest or are you aiming for a long
I'd
rest?
love to do a long rest if at all possible.
Okay. That would take us to... that would take us to... Okay, then. I'm going to say this. You lie back or you sit up or however Dolly might do it. You sort of sit on this bed for a second and you realise that it is really comfortable. And despite yourself, it's a warm day. And you close your eyes. And yeah, I'll say you can go long on it.
Yes.
And you can do like, technically with this long rest, I think you can do like 2 hours of light activity within that 8-hour rest. So I'm going to say after about 6.5, sort of 7 hours, which would take us to 9 o'clock in the evening. The sun is now almost set. There is like a gentle knock on the door. And you sort of, head pokes at him. It's Azro. Right.
Sorry. Fell asleep.
No, that's fine. They'd like you to, if you're rested and you're ready to, they'd like you to come and there's a ceremony in.
A ceremony?
Yes, yeah. The mushrooms. We're going to take the mushroom.
Oh, right. Yeah. I guess lead the way.
I've been told I need to. Well, unless you're, I really ought to get you.
Okay. Yeah. You're just doing your job. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I'm just doing my job.
Yeah.
Just want to keep you safe. I'll point out my wife. She is down there.
Oh, okay.
And he brings you over to the balcony. And on that balcony is Nox. And the leader of the Gnome is stood next to him, and Selendine is stood next to him. They're stood on either side of him. And he is staring straight out over the tables. Or where the tables were, because these tables have now been cleared away, and instead of the tables, people are stood in rows. And they have their hands out in front of them. And in their hands are little scraps of somnium. And Nox nods at Selendine. Roll me insight.
17.
He is actively not making eye contact with you. And Selendine steps forward. We consume the mushroom. The mushroom is of the earth. Vigil is of the mushroom, and the mushroom is of him. In consuming the mushroom, we absorb Vigil. He lives within our blood and breath. He strengthens us in bone and mind. His spirit inspires. The mushroom shows us truth. Vigil shows us truth. We prepare ourselves. And then you watch as they all take this mushroom. Dozens and dozens of people. Vigil does not.
Okay.
Selendine does not. And then you hear this collective response from everyone there, including Nox, including Selendine. This voices that sound almost as one. I see the colour in the dark. I hear the music of creation. I smell the richness of the earth in the moments before its corruption. Roll me perception.
16.
You see immediately that some of these people handle it really well and some don't.
Okay.
Some people just collapse to their knees and slump forward. Some slide down, kind of they've positioned themselves in a place next to a wall and they just sort of slide down it and sit, start to breathe heavily. Others hold their hands out. There's white tattoos that reflect this reddening, setting sun. They start calling out sort of phrases in praise of the mushroom, in praise of Vigil. You hear praise for you. And you also see that those ones that were originally slumped, that have barely been able to stand all day, someone is going along, these priests, and just putting little bits of somnium. And there are a few minutes while it's kind of everyone's waiting for it to kick in.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't build to a frenzy, it builds to this sort of trance, this feeling of collective will that's, whether it's been created by the mushroom or whether it's the ceremony itself, the idea of what the mushroom can do, it seems immaterial. People are carried somewhere by it.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that with many of these people, there's this sort of slightly vacant, slightly dazed, like that first, I think it was a shaved-headed halfling that you first met,
Yeah.
Cloda.
Yeah.
Like her. And then Vigil steps forward, still avoiding eye contact with you. Children, the midnight moon is secure, and so are we. We are vigilant. And though we strive to do no harm, we shall not be overcome. But there are those here who came to this place seeking to destroy it. Those who betrayed the midnight moon. One above all. Justice shall now be enacted upon him to keep us safe. Without safety there can be no ascension. We shall enact this justice before you all, so that no rumor may spread and that our power over such evil may be made clear.
What are you doing?
Bring him up.
What are you doing?
And you watch as through the crowd Parvis is brought. Hands bound. You don't see any of the others. And he's walked up to the top.
You promised me.
His head is up as he marches. Parvis, he looks almost regal. And you can hear people shouting from this stupefied state. Enemy of the midnight moon! They're shouting out. Vigil shall triumph! These cat calls.
Nox, stop what you're doing right now.
He looks, his head inclines towards you, and he says, Vigil, and then he looks straight back, and Parvis is brought up to the balcony and he has his hands bound in front of him. And he looks over to you, and he gives a little smile.
Save yourself. Get out of here.
He looks at you and he closes his eyes. And he seems to summon up the last of whatever strength and magic is in him. He brings his gnarled hands together, and his hands begin to glow. And then his whole body begins to glow, silver and blue light, like sunlight on a glacier, like summer on ice. And no one moves.
Help him, someone.
And you look at the guards, and they don't know what to do, they don't know how to be, and he pulls his hands apart. and he is filled with this light. And then Parvis speaks, and when he speaks with a strength and a fullness of voice that you've never heard. He says, "The virtuous made this world. Every tree, every rolling hillside, every flower, every snowflake, every drop of water, the wings of butterflies, the songs of birds, the silences. And now the virtuous are gone. They fell, struck down by a power beyond my understanding, a power dark and terrible. It is this power with which Vigil now aligns you." Roll me a perception check.
Dirty 20.
Nox is frozen. He looks pinned. It's almost as if there's something in Parvis's presence. He has harnessed your faith to do this power's terrible bidding. Faith is a weapon, whether in the hands of the just or the unjust. It tears and slices and draws blood from the people. And then he looks at Vigil. It appears that soon my blood will join the endless sea of blood that has been spilled in the name of faith. More will follow. And then back out to the congregation. What love is there in death, I wonder? What truth? What goodness flows as my blood will? Your faith is a weapon. Place it in those that will use it for good. I journey now into the wherever comes next, and I'm unafraid. I'm as old as this land, as old as the earth and the sky and the mushroom. I have lived through bud and bloom and flower and fruit and fall. I fear neither the dark nor the color that may lie beyond it. I pray that whatever of the virtuous still remains in your hearts may give you strength. They loved you, flawed as they were and flawed as you are. And then that light fades. And he's just a kobold. And he says, I have no more words.
Listen to him. Don't hurt him.
Nox looks to Selendine. And she doesn't move.
He's the last link to them that we have. If he dies, they're gone.
And Lilith steps forward. And she pulls a dagger. And she leans into him and she says, your gods are dead, Antiqua. And no. She draws it, stabs it into him, draws it out, just pulls it across his throat.
I'm gonna grab him as he falls.
Parvis falls. And he looks up at you. And he gives you that same smile. He says,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Unafraid. And then his eyes close. And we'll take a little break now. See you in a bit.
Hello, I'm Cam.
And I'm Seb.
You're watching another episode of Top 5
No, we talked about this.
Right, sorry. We're Double Jump, the production company behind Natural 6.
And we're here on behalf of Natural 6 to ask you to consider joining the Patreon that funds this wonderful show.
It's for a good cause, and to be honest, the show needs the money.
But for what, I hear you ask? Harry's dice money, more fidget spinners for Alex, Aoife's insatiable appetite for morphine. I wish.
See, the surprising fact is that the cast of this show, these 6 lovable rogues, this hexagon of handsome, this sextet of sexiness, are in fact completely and utterly talentless.
You have no idea how much money it costs to make this show happen.
Between Aoife's accent lessons and the time it takes to digitally remove every strand of Doug's luscious hair.
It's so frizzy. It's so hard to mask.
To be honest with you, There's very little money left. And that's before we consider the crippling VFX budget for Ben Starr. How do I put this delicately?
Ben looks like a mole.
Yeah.
An unattractive mole. A mole that all other moles call rabbit face. Moles think rabbits are ugly. It's a known thing.
As soon as the show wraps, our team dash from the studio to escape the suffocating stench and begin the painstaking process of rendering Ben Starr's face as you know it.
Takes the largest server farm in the Northern Hemisphere just to render the jawline.
Harry, on the other hand, all he has is his face.
Bloody hell. Talk about clueless. He'd never even heard of D&D before.
He only signed up because he thought it was a sex thing. He heard dungeons and that was it.
Do you have any notion of how much a team of writers costs? Because we do.
And we need to be in Harry's ear every episode, feeding him lines.
If I have to pronounce reliquiae for him one more time, I'm going to lose it.
Alex is only here because we feel bad.
That's true.
Poor wee guy just can't land any work.
Sometimes I turn his mic off and I don't tell anyone.
It's smart.
Oh, and we haven't even discussed the significant legal fees required to keep CD Projekt's lawyers at bay concerning the voice of Kelnis.
So please, sign up to the Natural Six Patreon and help us make this show. It costs more than all the silly underwater bits from Avatar 2.
Without double jump, these skillless zeros, these human husks of talent, are literally worth nothing.
Except Hollie.
Oh, Hollie's great.
Yeah, no complaints.
Love her.
And we're back. I'm just trying a little something different and new and fresh to get us out of the advert. I'm happy to have feedback like after, as long as that feedback's positive and you encourage me to go further with those instincts.
It's going to be jarring because obviously you ended this half with Aoife there. Now we're back. Are they going to be disappointed?
Oh, should we do that?
Yeah.
We're not going to do
Yeah,
that.
but we won't edit it.
We won't edit it, but
Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. And we're back.
Did you do it?
Yeah, Doug always does it. Whose idea was it for us to first do that?
I think it was Doug's.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Was it?
You are the
very
idea
dark.
person, and I don't think you get enough credit for being
Doug can take
honest.
credit.
Wait,
It was.
yours?
Oh no, it's Ben's cross.
Was it
Ben's
yours?
really. Oh my God, Ben's so angry.
That's-
oh my God, Ben's so angry.
I'm not angry. I'm livid. I'm like livid. It was absolutely my idea.
Wow,
He's disappointed.
that's crazy. That's crazy that you've taken it
So
hard,
I've
yeah.
taken it really hard.
I just didn't think that
Wow.
would be. I just didn't think that would be the thing that finishes Natural Six off. Like,
Alex, you want to contribute?
He's taking it really
yeah. Oh no, I know. We shared a
Wow, and I
look.
looked over
but
at
Alex,
Alex.
the reason I'm
Alex
laughing
was
is
like
because
this, like,
the reason I'm laughing is because you said it, and then Harry and I went like that, and I looked around here, and then Doug, you turned and looked at me, and then went. And looked at me, and I shared another look with
Oh,
you,
my
but it was
God.
like at separate moments.
incredible for those
we
listening
should
at home.
edit. We should edit that together. That's going to be good.
So
Welcome back.
you are 4 hours into this long rest. You have one more period of being on watch, and then you can all be awake and spend the rest of those, like, kind of last 2 hours together, which you can use to strategize if you would like.
Could I suggest that as I have already fully rested,
Yep.
I'll take the rest of the watches?
Oh, I'm 100% waking you up next.
Yep.
Let the sleeping lizard lie.
I'm sick of saying it.
He's been a busy boy. You need 4 hours of super elf sleep. Get up.
So, Radian. Roll me a perception. Do you tell him about the noise in the forest?
I suppose I'll just say that, the forest is, I guess, just waking up and being really loud, but I couldn't hear anything that worried me, but good luck.
Yeah. Okay. So Elowyn leaves you, goes to sleep in the hollow of this trunk, these kind of half-created shelter, 3 great trees. Roll me perception, Radiant. Did you do it in the tower?
Yeah,
You're just doing
yeah.
everything in the tower.
Do actually wait
What
to
did
see
you-
if anything bad happens. Please don't just try and handle it on your own.
You're asleep. You're asleep.
Go back to sleep.
Hey, I got this. It's a 14.
A 14.
Better than me.
You hear a noise, and you look over towards the shrine, and you see that gathered around where that doll was is are three of these brightly coloured children of the midnight moon, fighters, for want of a better word, with bows that seem to be examining the patch of flowers.
How far away from them am I?
I would say that you chose not to go far because you wanted to just find somewhere to be. But also they are not. But also it would be ridiculous to suggest that you made camp 60 feet from it. So I will say you are about as far as you can see in a forest like this without being obscured by just the sheer volume of trees. So I will say that they are 180 feet from you, 60 yards away.
I'd like to see how close I can get to see if I can hear what they're saying.
Okay, so the way that movement works if you're moving stealthily is I believe your movement costs double. So you can move forward slowly at a rate of, I think, 15 feet. It's 2/3 of regular pace, actually. So I would say you can move, let's call it 25 feet, just for the ease of maths.
Yeah.
So it would take you a few rounds to get there, because you've got 180 feet to go.
Yeah.
So it would take you a long time to move there completely stealthily, but you could also choose to kind of do that in whatever way you fancy.
Great. I would like to just kind of like, being a wood elf, I would like to just kind of like stay within the trees. And it says here, which I quite like, you can attempt to hide even when you're only lightly obscured.
Yeah, great.
So I'm just I want to get as close as possible, very tentatively walking, just trying to see if I can pick up on anything that they're saying.
Okay, what I'd like you to do is roll me a d6. That is how many sort of rounds, if you like, in a mechanical sense, it will take you to get there before you get close enough that you need to start rolling stealth.
I'm going to roll it with my deck of any friends, d6.
Marvellous. Let's see how close you get.
I like this. This is danger.
So if you roll a 1, when you're still 150 feet away from them, you're gonna have to start rolling stealthily, and you'll have to move more slowly. So what you want to do is be able to roll really high on this. So just try and roll high.
Well?
No, not really.
Go on.
I wish you well. It's a 6.
Okay, great. So you managed to
That's a
move
6.
150 yards, which is 6 times 25. You managed to move 150 yards undetected, and now I'm going to have you roll. So you're 30 feet from them, and you're going to have to roll stealth to get any closer. Yeah.
Is he?
That's totally not how the rules work, but I think it's a nice, fun way of doing it.
And I roll stealth?
Yeah, absolutely.
15.
15. Yeah, that beats their passive perception. And you can see that you can essentially get as close as you like within reason. You can get to within 10 feet if you want to, and just be hiding behind a tree or...
To give it some kind of flavour, it's...
I couldn't cast Chromatic Orb. To give it some kind of flavour, I'm going to polymorph myself into a horse and cast
flavour.
Chromatic
I
Orb.
look incredible. The light is coming down onto my skin.
Not with an 8.
Oh.
No, with an 8, he rolled a 4, you got a 15. He's okay.
Can't keep looking incredible whenever he wants.
I can. If
I
you
look
ask me some
incredible.
flavour, I look. It's like the camera just loves him. It just really, it's
really
special
good.
on him.
This is really good, and this is important that we get this
No,
right.
just very close to one of the trees, almost like with his back turned, listening, trying to kind of keep low.
Okay. So almost with his back turned, so you're better turned at a sort of 45 degree angle.
Yeah,
Looking nonchalant.
But even though that's very awkward,
it looks.
He
For the
manages to
purposes
sort of
of
pull it off.
In the lens of how this is being shot,
Yeah,
stunning.
yeah.
It's awkward in purpose, but
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
DOP's like, this is going to look amazing.
Yeah,
There's
and,
like-
on the chat shows, they'd be like, that shot was incredible. You'd be like, you wouldn't believe how uncomfortable it was to shoot that.
There's two branches causing a little bit of shadow here and here, and somehow Radian's got a cigar, and he's just like,
Yeah, even more. He has even more of a jawline. And he had
Actually,
jawline.
I don't endorse smoking.
No, quite. No, that's important for us
Because
to say.
Radian's a role model for children.
Yeah, Radiant kids be more rads.
Yeah.
That Radiant life.
Do you approve?
What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be Rads.
So you hear.
I look amazing.
You hear this. You hear these three warriors, and the first one says, I don't know. Does it mean somebody? They won't have taken it, will they? I don't know. Could have done. I suppose we should. Do we spread out? I don't want to be alone if I find him. No, me neither. And then one that's kind of larger than the others, an orc, says, we should stay together. Makes more sense for us to stay together. This alone would be enough to go back and tell them what we found, but we should see if there's any more we can discover. And then he looks at the two of them who seem to be having almost their strength is wavering. Have courage. And then roll me a luck check. I need you to avoid 1 to 5.
No, it's yours.
You can't. You're not. She's asleep. She's asleep.
You're looking good at this
She's-
moment.
she's-
so-
she's sleeping pretty.
I'll be absolutely fine.
Oh, fuck off.
What was it?
No, it doesn't matter what it is.
It's a 3.
It's a 3. The great thing is, actually, this would have happened anyway. You haven't affected it. He hasn't done anything. They start moving. He's, let's go deeper in. And
No,
what?
Not
You were
this
moving your
energy
eyes
is
before
wrong.
you.
no, I wasn't. I just want the story.
You realized just as it was coming out of your mouth
Oh.
what you were about.
Oh, I just want the story to sing.
I really miss Aoife.
We all miss Aoife, but you made your choice.
No, he made my choice.
You left her.
He made my
I wanted to
choice.
stay in.
They start to move in the general direction of those trees where you are, or where you know the rest of them are. Come on.
I follow them from a distance
Yep.
as they make their way in,
Yep.
and I do not want to be heard or seen.
Okay, so roll me a stealth check to stay behind them.
I'm going to stop doing it in there because I think that's dangerous now.
See, oh, we got there. We got there. We finally got there.
Do it again?
Fucking carry
Fine.
What was it?
Plus his stealth.
No, it's 10.
It's a 10. They turn around and look at you. What are you doing here? It's him. Well, today, shoot him.
I mean you no harm.
What?
I mean you no harm.
Don't trust him. He'll cast a spell on you.
Please. I mean you no harm.
Roll me persuasion with disadvantage.
I think that they're too far away for us to hear any of it.
I would say you can hear shouts of that level.
Ooh. Yeah, I have a passive perception of 18, even though I'm asleep. I sleep like with one ear open.
Just one ear. The other one is full of wax.
the other one is actively buffed.
Because I only ever clean one ear.
Yeah, you can wake and ready yourself, but the point at which you step into combat or do anything, you lose your long rest. I will say that you can all roll perception checks with disadvantage. It's a DC 15, and just see if you get woken by this. So
Do I have to?
yes, honey. Yeah, I think it's fun. It's just a game, you see. So we have to put some rolls in there.
12.
21.
I rolled 2 15s.
Okay, so Kelnis and you wake. You hear raised voices.
Where is Radian?
I mean you no harm. Roll a 5. You don't want to do this.
Roll initiative. And I'm going to say everyone can roll initiative, even if you're not currently part of this, because I want to be able to track it all from the very beginning. So I'm going to roll for the three of them as a gang. I rolled 3 times. That's the opposite of what I meant to do. Also, you'll be thrilled because I went from a nat 20 to a 4 on one of those die. What did you get?
This is so cursed.
What did you get?
Like, it's a joke.
What did you get?
But it's so bad.
What did you get?
I got a 4 on the die,
Yeah.
but I have a +3 to initiative.
Okay.
It's a bad thing.
Yeah, it
now
is
that I'm looking at it, this has not served me well.
No, and also, it doesn't look like something that's going to serve you well.
No.
It's full of evil, and it has the web symbol on it.
Yeah, and it's a joke. It's a joke that I roll it in it, but this has caused us a lot of harm.
Yeah, this really has.
I think it's all been about letting him come to that conclusion himself. I feel like if I had tried to install that in him, he was rebelling and he wanted to use it because I was trying to.
Hollie.
He had to figure it out for
The
himself.
problem is I want to keep using it because I feel like I can. I feel like this is
You can fix it.
I feel like this is a toxic boyfriend who I can fix.
Yeah.
Which is.
And we're learning a lot about toxic boyfriends at the moment, aren't we?
Like, I know that you can change Samuel.
Samuel.
Good thing you're not doing
Samuel Towers.
Samuel Towers.
Samuel Raphael Towers.
Yeah, Samuel Raphael Towers.
SRT, right? That's the
So
serotonin.
Samuel Raphael Towers.
They're antidepressants, right? SRTs, I'm pretty sure they are. So did anyone get higher than a 20?
I got a natural 20.
Okay.
I got a 22.
Okay, so we'll go Elwyn, and then we'll go Kel. El and Kel, and what did you get?
Got a 10.
You got a 10, and then we go I, and then we go Rads, and then we get these 4 fuckers. Oh. Okay.
What exactly are we hearing?
You are now here. I'm going to say you guys are awake, so you are now hearing all of this. You are hearing him shouting. I'm going to say that you are, by this point, 100. You were 180 feet. I'm going to say you're 100 feet away by the time you start.
We lose our long rest because we've woken up before the.
I will allow you to, if you get out of this, sort of fudge it and get some back.
Have a nap.
Potentially, but if you can avoid, it's up to you, man. Like, you can always look up long rest and figure out whether or not you want to make that trade.
If I just let you go.
Anyway.
just 5 minutes more. So it's your turn, Radian. Let me put some appropriate music on. Let's pretend the music came on.
Yeah.
Oh, for drama.
The music did not change.
Let's keep it as is.
Let's keep it as is, though. Let's keep the vibes as is, because these vibes are immaculate.
As you can tell by the immaculate vibes.
It's just getting louder, I think.
There we go. Done it.
I don't want to fight you. You don't want to do this. If you fight me, you will fall. There are more of us. I do not want you to do this. I am like you. I am a follower of the Midnight Moon. I did not betray her.
Are you trying to intimidate or to persuade?
Persuade.
Okay.
I've already failed a persuasion.
That's okay, because you're trying a different approach. This approach is much more about... This feels like a different moment to me, so I'm happy for you to re-roll a persuasion check.
It's my instead of attacking or doing anything.
Yep, this is your turn. You still have movement on your turn.
You're going to do it in the tower?
No, for some reason the tower seems to be...
So Samuel
Raphael Towers.
I can change you.
I don't think you can.
I can't change you.
Oh my god!
That's a 6.
Oh my god!
Becomes...
You don't want to do this.
And one says, take him down. And they are, all of them, going to try and... The big one is going to throw a javelin at you, and the others are going to try and hit you with their little short bows. The javelin thrower, who looks to be the beefiest one, throws a javelin. He rolls a 2. He rolls it so high above your head and so far off that it's almost as if he was trying to miss, were it not for the fact he looks really quite humbled by it. That's an 11 to hit. And a 19 to hit.
The 19 to hit.
Yeah.
I say to them, "You're only gonna hurt yourselves, and I'd like you to make a wisdom saving throw."
12.
it fails, you need a DC 15, and I use Instinctive Charm, which is when a creature I see within you attacks you. You can use a reaction to divert it to another one that's in with the attack's range. The attacker must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failure, the attacker must target the creature that is closest to it, not including you or itself.
Okay, well, I'll make it re-roll. It will re-roll with disadvantage because it's within 5 feet of its friend and it's a ranged attack. It rolled a nat 20 and a nat 1, so it doesn't hit, but it does fire an arrow at its friend, the big one who's just thrown a javelin. He goes, "What are you doing?" I don't know. It just sort of happened to me. You said spells. I think he's cast a spell on us.
I did no such thing.
He's charming. He's so charming. I don't think I've ever encountered such instinctive charm.
You do not want to do this.
We're now to the top of the order. Elowyn is asleep unless you choose to wake her up. But it's not your turn. Kel, that is your turn.
Okay, so I'm awake?
You can, yeah, man, yeah. So, just to be super clear, you're awake, Elowyn's asleep.
Okay.
I said you were 100 feet away, right? That's what I said? I think I said 100 feet. I might have said 120. We'll call it 100.
I think I'm gonna stay where I am.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm trying to. I hear noise. I see Radian's gone, and I just think I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna wait till I know more.
That is I's turn.
Can that be a held action?
You have to hold for a specific trigger. So, for example, you could say, I want to hold my action until I see Radian take damage. And therefore, if he takes damage before the start of your next turn, you can do that one thing that you've said you're going to do. So you could say, like, say, for example, you have a spell which has a range of 100 feet. You could say, I want to hold an action to cast this spell with a range of this at this one person if Radian takes any damage. But if you get to the beginning of your next turn and that thing hasn't happened, you can't, it's gone. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Yeah.
I would like to use my action to shake.
Yeah, you can do that for free.
Okay, cool.
And Elowyn.
What?
Elowyn wakes. There is no Radian. There is no Radian.
Good thing. Okay.
And there is sounds in the woods.
And then before there's ever really, as you're still trying to wake up, I would like to click my heels. And I would like to move 60 feet. Are they 60 feet away? How far away are they right now?
They're 100 feet, so you can get 40 feet. I want
to move,
cool.
40 feet away from them.
Yeah, you get 40 feet. You roll. Do you want to
Should I roll for the number of turns?
Yeah, roll me a d10.
I am going to do it with our lovely new dice.
Raphael tells.
5 turns.
5 turns. I'm going to remind you after this combat, the two of you are going to need to roll Constitution saving throws against the effects of the blight. We'll handle it afterwards. Cool. Do you want to move stealthily or not?
Yeah. I mean, well, but as into half my...
No, because in combat, there's so much noise. Yeah. I think you can move.
So yeah, so stealth.
Great. So roll stealth. Anything better than that one?
That is a 28.
Gorgeous.
You can see.
I moves to within 40 feet. Radian, you see, has his hands up, and you can hear all of these conversations that are taking place. Did you want to do something and hold your action? Because if so, I need you to kind of state it now. Because really, we've moved on beyond your turn, but I'm happy to do it if you're just coming to terms with what that means.
No, I think no.
Cool.
No, I'm not holding an action.
Radian, that is your turn.
I'm now going to try and intimidate.
Okay.
You do not want to do this. I am Radian Thornbear, a god killer. You think you can kill me? You stand no chance. Go.
I love the God Killers thing. You can roll me a intimidation with advantage.
It's a consistency thing. This is the journey of this.
With advantage,
Good
baby.
match. Go on, one more.
No, I know, but it's just so bad.
But earlier on it wasn't.
Yeah!
Go on.
What was it?
It's an 18.
Samuel.
Samuel. Okay. I'm going to say, with that, it's not enough to make them flee, but it is enough to stop them from taking their next round. They look to the big one and say, What do we do? What do we do? You said you were a disciple of the Midnight Moon.
Yes.
And a god killer too.
Yes.
Why would Vigil lie to us?
Because Vigil wants to take his place ahead of her. Vigil wants to become a god, so that she cannot be. We killed those gods for you, for her.
Roll me persuasion with advantage. This is cool. This is nice. Whoa, Samuel! It's a nat 20! It counts!
Fast and loose with the
Do you know what that was? That was Samuel in that moment going, you don't need me anymore.
Yeah. Honey, you were always enough, said Samuel.
They're just kind enough to you to keep you around.
Yeah, but it's just us. It's so,
Yeah.
this is really what we're like, isn't it? Away from all that noise. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You did that for us.
For her.
And he nods. And he looks to the other two and he says, we can't go back. What do you mean? I can't go back. If what he says is true. And I have every mechanical reason to believe it is. But he could not have made a better case. And this is where our association with Vigil ends. Well, I'm not going back by myself. Come with me. The three of them get into essentially a short play. The three of them like going back and forth, and eventually the big one says, "You'll save her, won't you?"
I will do everything I can to save her.
He puts his hand on his shoulder. You're a good man, Radian Thumber. Killer of gods, saver of the Midnight Moon. I will not regret this. My name's Angus. I used to be a butcher.
Angus the Butcher. What you're doing is right for you and right for her. But I might still need your help, Angus the Butcher.
Tell me more. Sorry, that was tell me more.
Is there anything you can do to help us, to tell us a way to get back in? A secret way, a way that others might not know? We mean your people no harm, but they clearly think that we do.
Roll me a luck check. Let's see if there is a secret way. Roll a 10 or higher. Samuel.
Do what you fucking want, you do it anyway.
Samuel is our friend.
It's a 10.
Samuel, you tease. There is one way. Within Haven there is a sanctuary of the Midnight Moon. He's turned it into a store of the Somnium. He always feared there being an attack. And he made a tunnel. There's a way in through the tunnel.
And this tunnel is far.
The entrance. And he describes a rock formation, a curious rock formation, which he says is about 100 yards from the wall of Haven. A place where there are dahlias that grow wild. It's these dahlias, he explains, that they've been transplanting and placing in the shrines. It's where the dahlias come from. And where these dahlias grow on a rock formation which looks like a set of jagged teeth, he said that's where you'll find the entrance.
Okay. Thank you, Angus. You've made the right choice.
I hope so. If you ever need a saddle of lamb, you know where to find me.
Angus, I don't.
Oh no, I'm going home.
You just hear
I'll go back.
You just hear in the distance, Cullen's going, "Lamb."
I'll go. Yeah, I'll go back to Caressian.
Cannot believe I've been woken up for this shit.
I'll go back to Caressian. Take up my old job.
You saved their lives today.
And they look up at him and both go, "Thank you, Angus. Thank you, Angus. You're very welcome."
Good.
Blow.
God.
Oh, thank God. And they... Yeah, that's the dumbest thing we've ever done.
Now, I don't think it's ever done. I think there's been dumber, if I'm being truthful.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I walk back into camp.
I'm sorry, why did you wake me up?
Eye is following behind. Just comes in behind Radian.
In fairness, he was very good.
Good at what? What's happened?
Children of the Midnight Moon wandering in the forest. They found the shrine empty. They went to find you and they found me. I convinced them that I killed a god for them, for Dolly.
He was very charming.
I didn't fight them. I made sure of that.
Well, yes, because we know what happens when you try and fight people on your own.
Yes, and I need your help. But I did find out some interesting information, but now's not the time. Go back to sleep.
I'm trying to sleep here.
You need the rest. All of you.
As I settle down, I look to Elwyn and I say,
He really did do good. And still looked really good doing it.
I don't care how he looked, and also this is a lesson where you shouldn't be taking other people's stuff. If you left the doll there, they probably would have left it.
I pulls out the doll and curls up with it.
To just get that last 90 minutes of rest. I will say the rest of that watch passes without incident.
Shall we roll for...
Yep.
Yes, please, DC 15.
Roll it in this, baby.
No, I don't want
Roll
to.
for what?
Samuel is
No,
lonely.
I don't want to.
What are we rolling for?
You're
No,
rolling for
you're
nothing.
not
allowed.
You're the bloke. Yeah.
10.
10, you fail.
Ooh.
That's 20, baby.
Nat 20, you pass. And I'll tell you what, write down, because I will forget, you can roll your next one with advantage on a nat 20.
Sweet.
So, that is your second failure. On the blind.
Yes.
You lose 1d4 from your maximum HP.
And it's 3, so I'm now down to 25. No, 50, 54.
25. Oh my god.
Oh, I hate being
25
dyslexic.
and 54
I
is just
hate being
completely
dyslexic.
different numbers.
Don't, no, you must, no, don't.
25.
We are,
Yeah, so, 54.
so I'm going to say it's now, it's 1, 2, I'm going to say it's now, by the end of this, it's 10 o'clock.
At night.
Night has fallen, yeah. So you left at midday, you spent 2 hours looking for and finding shelter, and then you've spent 8 interrupted, but not mechanically for, I'm going to allow the boots of speed. I'm not going to take a long rest away from you for the sense of moving quickly. It's 10 o'clock, 8 hours after you started resting, you have everything back. Yeah.
I need to tell you something. All of you.
Is Is it something we need to worry about?
Depends on your tolerance for what I'm about to say.
Yes, sir.
A series of events has transpired that has led us to this point that you might not necessarily agree with.
Okay, well, what are they?
I've been having dreams. In the night. The cards. A card speaks to me.
One.
I could probably guess which one.
Arasus. He visits me in the night, wanting what he is owed.
And what is he owed?
I think I can guess. The thing he didn't get when we were back in Yannick.
He wants a death. He wanted mine. He tried to take it.
Does it still needs to be yours?
I fought him in my dream. And I offered him something else.
What did you offer him?
I said that I am not the one who took that death away from you. I'm not the one who pulled another card. I offered him Dolly.
Radian. Why?
I didn't think I would survive.
And what did he say?
Well, obviously he was thrilled about the thought, and he said he'd come back for it, but he came back just now when I was asleep. For Dolly. But Dolly isn't here. But he did offer something in return.
Okay, what did the horrendous death card offer in return?
I would offer him Dolly if he got us to her. All of us. And he said that he would give up his power. And you're not going to like this. To take you into the void with him.
Into the cards?
Wherever that place is that he exists, I don't know what it is. It's...
Take who?
You.
All of us.
The three of you.
The three of us?
Yes.
Not you?
No. I would then be able to take you in the cards to Dolly, and then you would be released.
And what would happen to us?
I don't know.
And to a Dolly?
I don't know.
Does it needs to be you that does it? Or will it be him?
I need you to do something for me.
What?
Arasus wants a death. Right now he wants Dolly, but whilst you're in there, you can convince him that there is another death that he can take. He doesn't care who it is.
Nox.
But whilst you're in there, you have to do it for me.
In where? This is ridiculous.
You've seen how powerful he is. You've seen what he can do. We are going up against a person who is trying to be a god. You've seen me try and convince people. Yeah, it kind of worked out then and it looked kind of cool back then, but I'm certainly not good at it. The three of you together, you can convince him. He doesn't care who he kills.
Are you suggesting that we find a way to make him take Nox?
Yes. Whilst you're in there.
In where? I don't understand.
I don't know where. It's a place. It's very weird, but you can do this. I know you can. And I will find a way back in, and then I will release you, and you will, hopefully by that point, have found a way to convince him to fight with us and give him the death that he wants.
And if you don't release us, If something happens to you, are we just another card?
I'm going to release you.
What would be more pleasing? A mortal or the life of one who would be a god?
I'll leave it up to you.
I hate magic, Radiant, and I hate those cards even more.
I know I'm asking a lot of you, and I know that I spend a lot of time placing myself in danger, but there's a reason why you keep bringing me back. There's a reason why I keep falling and you keep bringing me back, and that is because you care about me. And as much as I hate the fact that you have begun to care about me, I'm going to ask you to care about me one more time. And trust me, I know you can do this. He can be reasoned with. He wants a death. Offer him one.
You sold Dolly to him.
I didn't.
You offered him Dolly.
I didn't. I never intended for that to happen. I always knew that I would defend her, but I was going to go down. You've seen what I'm like. By myself. I'm useless. I would have died.
So now you're going to be by yourself while we're trapped inside your magical deck of cards.
What is your plan, Radian?
I call on Arasus. You go into the cards with him.
How does that serve any of this?
Whilst I'm there, I make my way back into Haven. I already know 2 ways. I was going to do something else, and now I know about this passage. I'll literally walk in the back entrance, and then I will release you.
This sounds like every other plan we've come up with, which is you have an amazing idea to get us there and we'll figure it out along the way.
I said to you, the situations find us. I didn't ask for this. It came to me.
If you can walk in through this secret passage, can't we do the same?
Arasus is going to go after Dolly.
So, our job is to convince him, while we're wherever he is, to take Nox instead of Dolly.
Yes.
There is one thing to say. An Arasus has been promised a Dolly. So eventually an Arasus will come for a Dolly. Unless we convinces him to go for someone else. It is now not a matter of will he, but when will he. At some points he is going to have to be talked down.
Or killed.
And if not now, when we has a chance to redirects to Nox, then when?
What happens to us inside the cards?
I don't know. I don't know. I've been there myself. The place is strange. It feels like... It feels like the difference between the air and your skin doesn't exist. It feels like you are one with this place, but it's also cold and warm at the same time. Time moves differently there. But it might be different for you. I don't know how long it will seem like you're in there. It could seem like days. It could seem like minutes. But I promise to not keep you in there for a long time.
How does we get in there?
I call on the cards. And Arasus will answer. Every time we've pulled, he has come anyway. He's grown too strong.
I would rather sends an Erastus in another direction than faces an Erastus.
We don't have to agree on it now.
Well, it seems we do. We have to do something.
We have to protect Dolly from what you promised them.
We do.
Well, there's no other choice then, is there? But Radian, this is your fault.
Yeah. I know. And I'm sorry.
You're always sorry. But nothing ever changes, Radian. We're always picking up the pieces from you being sorry.
If you don't want to do it, you can go.
Of course I don't want to do it. No one wants to crawl inside the deck of many friends, your stupid deck of magical cards. We'll do it for Dolly. To try and undo the mistakes you've already made. Which frequently seems to be all we do.
I really appreciate it.
We go into the cards, and then you enter Haven through its back passage.
Fuck me.
That's what you said before. I heard it and I wanted to respond.
How long have you been waiting to say this?
Ages.
Yeah.
I'm glad you
Since
said
you
it.
first said.
Yeah. A while.
Sorry, it had to happen.
Kel, are you laughing to yourself?
Oh, yes. Something I thought of.
Do you want to say anything?
No.
Okay. Just you're laughing to yourself in the corner. You can say something if you want.
Oh, Radian. I think your plan is vile and has a slim chance of working. But it seems... What do we have to lose but our souls?
Should we do this?
For what it is worth, I was quite excited to see what is on the other side.
And then we will go back for Parvis. We will find him. No harm will come to him.
Eyes in.
Okay.
I pull out the deck of cards. And I don't really pull anything. It's more just a willing it into existence.
And you see something different. The whole deck rises. The whole deck rotating. And then the cards fall to the floor as if pushed, compelled by something. Until Erastus's card is alone twisting and spinning. And he appears. This tall, thin, gaunt human. He has shoulder-length, swept black grey hair, and grey is his complexion. He's pallid, sunken eyes, an overcoat, and a dagger in each hand. Well,
This is them. You have my word that you will not hurt them.
we have our terms.
You wanted death. We will give you a death.
You will. And then he looks at the three of you. And he sheathes his daggers. And he puts one hand out.
I take it.
You put your hand on top.
Yep.
Kelness. And Radian, you watch. As they start to spin. Erastus in the centre. Dust and light and whispers in the air, and the cards fall from the floor and seem to swirl around them like butterflies, and then they're together and they disappear. And you're alone. You'll get out of here, everyone. You're on the balcony.
Mm-hmm.
Parvis is in your arms, and the last of his life force, you know with certainty, has left his body.
So you're telling me this is what your word's still worth?
It had to happen, Dolly.
You promised. Where are the rest of them?
You can keep them safe.
Like I did him?
The old gods are being swept away, Dolly, to make room for the new.
You?
Us.
This type of godhood's not what I'm interested in.
You will learn what it means to be a god. It is a heavy burden. It is a great power.
One that you don't know how to wield.
Then show me a better way, Midnight Moon.
I want to see my friends.
That's not possible.
Why? If you're a god, you can do anything, right?
There is a difference between can and will. It does not serve me. Everything has to serve me.
Mm-hmm. That's the crux of it, isn't it?
I suppose so.
Mm-hmm. You know the moon belongs to everyone, right?
Not a moon of your creation. He gets down very close to you and he says, you only exist for these people because of me. You matter to these people because of me. With one word, you will mean nothing to them again. I don't need you, I wanted you.
Why? Why give me up? Just to bring me back? Just to put me through this?
I can't help loving you, Dolly. I can't help wanting to be with you.
That's not love.
It is. You keep pushing me away.
The moon belongs to everyone. I belong to no one. She's gonna take her dagger out. Don't push me.
Put that away.
Where are my friends? Where are they?
They are alive. They are here.
Let me see them then, even from far away.
You know I can't do that. I see your little games.
Mm-hmm.
We're not children, Dolly. We don't play. You need your rest.
Don't know how I'm gonna sleep after all this excitement. When's this big ascension happening? That's your plan, right?
Give it time. For now, he gestures out towards towards the people. Roll me perception.
11.
It's hard to tell how this has been received. Those who are still conscious are sitting up and staring at Parvis, at the body. You see that the slow drip of blood is starting to fall through the deck and the planks and drip down to the floor at the base of the somnium mushrooms. And then you catch something out the corner of your eye. One of the really comatose children of the Midnight Moon who was slumped against a wall is being sort of dragged, quickly bundled and dragged away. You can't make out why.
That's quite far away from me?
Yeah, it is.
Can I step forward in the balcony, take a closer look?
You can roll. Yeah, you can. You can roll another perception check. Try and tune in on that moment in particular.
That one.
Okay. As you go to do that, Nox puts a hand on your shoulder. Says, "No.
Take your hand off me.
He does. You're making this so much harder than it needs to be.
Fine. Where am I supposed to go now?
Selendine has given over her chambers to you. You will be guarded for your own protection. You don't need to be afraid. I'm not going to hurt you. You're the Midnight Moon.
Fine. We can talk about this some more later.
Very well. Perhaps we could eat. We haven't had dinner in a long time.
Yeah. 9 years in a shady organization will do that to you. Go on then.
Selendine, organise for us to have some food. Roll an insight.
5.
Selendine still hasn't moved. You can't tell why. But she doesn't respond. Selendine. Azro, sort us some food. Yeah. Yes, of course. What would you like? What do you like? What do you like?
Doesn't matter what I like.
What does she like? She'll have what I have. Right. And he goes down the steps.
Can I take a closer look at Selendine?
Yeah.
What would that be?
You can roll insight or investigation.
Insight it is, dirty 20.
Mm-hmm. She's just looking at Parvis. And you see her sort of put her hand up and adjust something underneath the skull. You can't see what, but she has not seen this before. That's clear.
I'm gonna very gently put Parvis down. Close his eyes for him. He was good. He wanted the best for all of us. Even people that didn't treat him the way he deserved to be treated.
Well, now he's a story. He's just a memory now.
I'll make sure he's more than that.
Very well. Selendine, will you dine with us? and nothing from her. It's like she's been disconnected. And then a voice comes from within the skull. I should go. She just disappears, walks down the steps out into the population.
You should let her go.
She is valuable. People respect her, so they should. She's a clever girl.
I know that.
She reminds me of you a lot. But she doesn't have your spark. She doesn't have that very special something that you have, Dahlia.
Don't call me that.
I can't do right for doing wrong at the moment.
She does have a spark, you're wrong. She just needs to find it again.
And Azro appears with a sort of platter of kind of just a lot of raw stuff, a lot of just like vegetables and some cheese. Very little that would sit particularly heavy. Some very small breads made with like flour and seeds, little seed cakes. Shall we?
We shall.
And you go up to that first place where he received you. And up there's a sort of table looking out over the rest of Haven. By now the sun is almost gone. It's almost dark. You can just see the beginnings of the first few stars appearing above the canopy through the leaves.
Do you have them do that every day?
The position comes with some advantages.
I mean, she gestures to all the people that have taken.
Oh. Yes, it is an act of devotion. Look, we don't agree. It seems we agree on less than I'd hoped, but I hope you will see that these people have a purpose. These people have something to believe in. I don't like what just happened any more than you do, Dolly. I'm not a... Whatever you think of me, I'm not a cold-blood murderer.
Well, what's all this for?
This world is more fractured, more divided than it has ever been. There is chaos on its way if we are not careful. It's order. It's community. These people care about each other. Their children play. They are fed. They are educated. They are kept safe. We treat them when they are sick. Imagine that in Barun. If you had turned up there all those years ago, and there had been somewhere where you could have got a hot meal and a warm bed and someone who could help you, you wouldn't be here.
No.
And I'm glad you are, but it would be a beautiful thing for you, I know, if you weren't. We can stop more yous and me's from going astray. We're all scared. We're all just children, aren't we?
And you think you can stop what's coming?
I think I can soften the blow. The Gnome. The power they have. What they are capable of. I haven't seen it before. More than the Legion, more than the Guard, more than any of this. The world is not ready for a war, and so there will not be a war. There will be a series of massacres. And I have had assurances that Barun will fall with the minimum bloodshed. I secured load with as close to none as it is possible to do. In return, I can have a safe Barun. And it can be a little enclave. The madness of the world will be quietened. In the gardens up above. Dolly, it's beautiful there.
And you can live with the fact that you shut the doors and keep everyone else out. And not know what's happening.
I can't save everyone. But I can save all these people, and I can save many in Barun who are worthy of that help.
So long as they uphold whatever it is that you want.
Yes. You say it as if it's a bad thing. I'm bringing order. I'm sick of chaos, Dolly. I'm sick of not knowing where I am or who I am or where I'm from or what matters to me or where I fit. I wanted a place, I found a place, and that place was elevated by the people around me. I can do things now.
I'm sick of chaos too, but I won't stand on top of other people to have peace.
Who do I stand on top of? That. And then he gestures down at the body of Parvis, still there on the balcony. No one's touched him.
Yes. Them. Him. Everyone that comes after. And instead of trying to fight, you just accept defeat. Like it's a sure, certain thing.
But I've won. If I have Barun, and if I have you, then I've won. That's the end of the story.
It's not a happy ending.
It is for me. And it is for you. It is for you, Dolly. I'm sorry, I know. I am sorry. If there was any way of not doing that, I wouldn't have done it. If there was any way, I wouldn't have done it. I couldn't even look at you because I was ashamed of it. But it had to be done. It did.
You couldn't bear to do it yourself, though.
A god cannot kill. God, I have to be just. I have to be seen to be peaceful and benevolent and loving. I mean, what the little lizard said, I mean, he's not wrong about some of it, you know?
No, he's not wrong. Faith is a very powerful weapon. Love is a very powerful weapon, maybe even more so.
I know that.
Mm-hmm. But you wield it against the wrong people. And you wield it ultimately for yourself.
No, I wield it for them.
Cut the shit. Nox, for 1 second. You're not doing it for them.
Well, and I'm doing it for me and you. We'll get there. We'll get what we wanted. What we always dreamed of.
What you always dreamed of.
Come on. You keep fighting.
Mm. Yeah.
It's like you're tearing at a chain that's binding you, and all I'm asking you is to stand still long enough that I can unlock it and take it from around your neck. I don't want to see you tear yourself apart. You know, you look...
What?
Dolly, it's not been kind. It's not been a kind 9 years. I didn't mean it like that. I'm saying... You know what I'm saying.
Do I?
I think you do. I think you're choosing not to know.
Mm-hmm. I think you're choosing to see this exactly how you want to. Which is that you didn't betray me and break my heart, but that you did something that ultimately was for my own good. We both know that's a pile of
You keep trying to back me into corners, Dolly. I don't know what you want me to say.
I just want you to tell the truth. Just once.
Okay, let's play your game. Let's play your game. If we want to play games, we can play games. You ask me questions, I'll just tell you. Ask me questions.
What happened 9 years ago? Exactly. What happened?
The web became aware of me trying to bring the Somnium in. You told me not to. I didn't listen.
No.
I wake up, a knife to my throat. Where's Dolly? I wouldn't tell them. They left me for dead. I knew they were coming after you. I was too frightened to go back in. I came here. I didn't give you to them.
Can I roll insight?
Yeah. How much do you feel like you've got the measure of him now?
I think I've got the measure.
You can roll with advantage.
Okay.
He's going to roll a deception or a persuasion. He rolled a 19 in total.
13.
You can't get a read.
Okay.
He, you can't, because you don't get any tells for truth or lie. Next question.
What are you going to do with Brune?
Rule it.
What kind of ruler do you think you're going to be?
A really good one. Because I started from the bottom and I know what it's like to be trodden on.
How do you feel about trotting on other people?
There are people who deserve to be trodden on after all they've done.
And you decide who's...
I do.
Yeah.
I do, Dolly. That's my privilege.
What's my privilege?
You get to be by my side. And no one will ever hurt you again.
Except you.
Dolly, you hurt yourself by pushing me away.
What's the ascension?
The mushroom and I... Yeah. I don't fully understand it myself. But sometimes I feel as if I am more it than I am myself. And I believe there is a way of me harnessing that power and becoming something greater. I believe it will give me extraordinary power. But I need to give into it, and I'm not ready yet. Because I don't fully know what will happen to me. So I wanted you here. Because I'm scared of it.
Then why give into it at all?
Because it calls to me. And it is extraordinary in the strength of its call.
What if it's not what you expected?
The truth. Then you have to kill me. And I don't want to be killed by anyone else. But I don't think it'll come to that.
Something we can agree on.
See, we're having fun. You almost smiled. I'm not so bad, Dolly. I am trying. I am trying to be honest with you. I am being honest with you. Yeah. What's wrong? You look troubled.
I just... You're always the one person I couldn't get a real read on. Maybe that's why I was so fascinated.
I didn't mean what I said about the time being I didn't mean it. I came out wrong. I'm not always... So, 100 miles an hour this Bryn.
Tell me about it. What now?
Sleep on it. I have business to attend to, and it's no concern of yours.
Yeah. Never was.
You've barely touched your food.
Hungry. I went on this brain too, believe it or not.
That's why we're well matched. You make me really angry sometimes. Oh, sorry. Right, I'm going to go and speak to people, and you may do whatever pleases you. Midnight Moon. Sleep well. And he stands up from the table.
She's just gonna sit there, quietly seething.
Great. Is there anything that you want to do, or do you want to go back to those chambers and just sort of wait and think?
I think I'll go back, yeah.
It would be foolish to say that you would sleep, probably, after all that.
Yeah.
But you wait for the moon to rise, and that long, long wait for a morning that you know is coming that brings, you don't know what, but you can't slow it down. I'm going to bring the others back in just for a minute.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay. It's like spinning and falling. It's not like going through the portal, it hurts more than that. It's like a soul or something mortal in you being dragged from you and pushed back into you and dragged from you and pushed back into you. And then you are in a space of darkness. Mist and fog. And Arasus Gracie stands in front of the three of you. What?
Where are we?
Nowhere.
Is that where everyone who's in the cards is? Just in nowhere?
Most sleep. I have the ability to hold that sleep back. So I wait. And I watch and I listen.
Why is you in here?
Punishment.
For?
The truth.
The gods?
He nods.
The wild, or the vile, or the virtuous?
Yes.
Not a fan of gods, then.
Shakes his head.
Well, I suppose where from, there aren't many left.
Good.
You're not a fan of life either, it seems.
On the contrary, I wish to preserve my own.
Is that why you need one from us?
Dolly de Wind.
No. I know what Radian promised you. I can give you something better.
If you have been sent here to break his promise.
No. A death is needed.
We has been sent here to show you a much nicer one.
You do not like gods. We will give you a god.
Or one who seeks to be one.
Dolly de Winter robbed me of a death that was mine. Radian Thornbear.
Dolly did not rob you of that death.
She pulled the card. That creature, Jaxie. That was her doing.
But it was Jaxie that did it.
And I cannot take revenge on him.
The water is murky. All's that matters is that you takes a life. What should the world be? All of it, all of them's. If we were to seize all the gods, die only to be replaced by more.
He leans in and sort of inclines his head in a way that looks like he's listening, although his expression is hard to read.
And what would be more pleasing than to takes the life right as they thinks they is becoming a god, to stops them from even tasting, from being this close and never knowings it.
Dolly is nothing. We can give you an ambitious mortal seeking godhood.
A would-be god. Instead of De Winter.
That is our offer.
Roll me a persuasion check each. Do you want to join in on this, Elowen?
No, I think these two have taken that
Okay.
part of the conversation in that direction. So
What was it, persuasion?
Yeah.
18.
9.
So that cumulatively is a 27.
I have a condition.
name it.
I want the final blow.
That sounds fair.
The final blow on our would-be god.
Agreed.
You stand in this strange, featureless mist. Nowhere. No sense of time. No sense of space. Staring at someone caught between death and life.
Again. Why is you here?
Because we would not lie.
And where was you before?
He touches his own chest.
Reliquiary.
So you is of our world.
Looks at Elowen.
We are of the same.
And you knews the truth.
We were of Sentiasa.
Was you before the Antiqua?
Yes.
From Santiago, you're from the beginning.
Was you with the Antiqua? Or were the Antiqua after this?
The Antiqua were to do what we would not.
So they was maids. To be what you could not be.
That is my belief.
Why did you look at Elowen?
Human.
You were human.
Still am.
Does you think that? Believe that? Or does you feel that?
I know it.
But what you can do now feels more than human.
We had greater powers before the splitting of the world.
We were taught that humans were created on Reliquiae.
No.
After.
No. No. We were an army. We were all an army. And that's where we'll end our session. Cool.
Wow, people are going to go crazy over this episode.
Lore exists.
So thank you very much, everybody, for joining us for episode 31 of our adventures in the world of...
Yeah.
I don't know how we're going to do Action Surge. But by the time this comes out, if you're a member of our Patreon, patreon.com/natural6, you will know how we handle Action Surge, because that Action Surge is available now, right now, like literally now.
At the same time.
And if you're not a member of our Patreon, then you can find out then. And by then I mean next Tuesday, 8 p.m. UK time, and this will drop on our drop.
Did you just say to everyone, see you next Tuesday?
No, I said you can see next Tuesday.
But I feel like
Don't,
it was you
because my mother would be very sad if I ever said that
You were
word in public.
vaguely alluding to.
So yeah, you can go and check it out. Or if you can't wait, then you can go and join the gang on Patreon and join the Discord and theorize in the spoiler chat. It's a marvelous place to
Cast
be.
spoiler tag will be absolutely I'm dreading it.
This has been real fun. We'll see you very soon for more adventures in the world of Reliquiae. Bye, everybody!